And welcome back to the Hot Lap. We are talking Alpine, and Franco Colapinto has signed with Alpine, but does that spell disaster for Jack Doohan? Is Doohan doomed even before we start the F1 2025 season? I mean, you can't make this up, can you? It's just the driver market and all the F1 stories pretty much since Hamilton's moved to Ferrari last year. Absolutely crazy. And now we've got another one breaking. Franco Colapinto joins Alpine, importantly, as the test and reserve driver. The other important question is, how long will he be this test and reserve driver? Well, let's have a look at the story then, shall we? So Alpine have announced Franco Colapinto. He's joined as the reserve driver for this year, but the interesting thing, it's a multi-year deal. Now, while Colapinto was unable to find a place on the grid for 2025 this year, the Argentinian has been confirmed as a reserve driver with Alpine. There was talk from Red Bull, there was talk from Alpine as well that they wanted to buy him out of the Williams contract, which it looks like they may have done. So Franco Colapinto, as we know, signed with Alpine, the Enstone-based squad, the former Benetton team, the former Renault team, also the former Lotus team from the 2010s. But the announcement of his arrival was made on the same day as Alpine announced it also secured the services of WEC champion Ryo Hirakawa in a test simulator driver role. So alongside Paul Allen, Alpine has now 3 drivers lined up in the background behind their race drivers Gasly and Doohan. Now, Colapinto has been closely linked with Alpine, as you know, for several months, with Flavio Briatore, yeah, that guy, as part of the triumvirate of Alpine F1 team management expressing interest in signing the Argentinian after he did a Nick de Vries-esque fantastic few races and then just crashed into walls a lot. But the speed is there. However, Colapinto's tough run of form, there we go, did cool that interest as I just predicted. Now, speculation regarding his future continued over into the winter shutdown, into the off-season. We're still in the off-season, with the speculation focusing on Colapinto potentially joining Alpine and rumours about the future of the poor Jack Doohan, give him a chance, emerged. Colapinto, together with his manager of Bullet Sports Management, was spotted by PlanetF1.com in a jovial conversation with Briatore before the trio went their separate ways. Okay. Now, Doohan, a product of the Alpine Academy and managed by Briatore, he's obviously been confirmed for this year, signed ahead of last season's Dutch Grand Prix, shortly after the arrival of Briatore and team boss Ollie Oakes at the helm. While the Australian will start the season with Alpine, he faces immediate pressure to perform. Like many F1 deals, Doohan's future is understood to be contingent on performance and impressing a management team who've only just taken charge. So the minute it starts, he is going to be Doohan is going to be under pressure. Now, some speculation suggests Doohan's contract only covers the first quarter of the season, while a possible opening for Colapinto to slot in after this, should Doohan fail to hit the ground running. Makes sense, doesn't it? It's very Red Bull-esque, isn't it? Now, Doohan got his chance to make his F1 debut in the weird, let's get rid of Ocon, Doohan, Abu Dhabi. I don't think it was very fair 2025 finale. I don't think it was fair for both drivers, incidentally. Starting from 20th, Doohan went up to 15th, while teammate Pierre Gasly secured 7th to secure 6th place. Alpine confirmed that Colapinto had been signed following an agreement being reached, and this is the interesting thing, between Williams and the Argentinian, set to attend several races throughout the year, as well as engaging in a TPC program alongside Hirakawa and Aaron. He said, "I'm super excited to have the opportunity to join the BWT Alpine Formula 1 team. First of all, I want to say thank you to Williams for all their support from the moment I joined the academy until the last race in Abu Dhabi. They turned my dream of racing into Formula 1 into a reality, but you're not good enough to stay there, but then they didn't have a space, and he's surely potentially been... I mean, why has he gone to Alpine? This is the thing. Alpine would have paid Williams a fair little money, I'd imagine, to get Colapinto out of his contract, in the knowledge that Colapinto had a good chance, maybe, of driving either this year or next year. Having said that, if Carlos Sainz, for example, goes at the end of 2025 to another team, he could have had the chance there. But it's all very interesting, isn't it? Why would Alpine pay all that money if he's just going to be a reserve driver? I mean, a huge thank you to Luca, Flavio and Oliver for believing in me and welcoming me to the team with open arms. He said, I cannot wait to get started and see where this journey takes us. Also, a massive thank you to my sponsors and partners who stood by me through the challenges of the 2024 season. Your support made it all possible. And to my incredible fans in Argentina, muchas gracias. Your passion and encouragement meant the world to me. Let's aim for even greater things in 2025 and beyond. I wish he does. At the extent of doing, I don't know. I mean, the race have got an article on. Apologies for this bit. The video thing, but is Doohan doomed? Our verdict as Alpine swoops for Colapinto. So, I mean, the obvious implication, they're saying that Colapinto initially slotting in as a reserve driver will be ready to swoop in to partner Pierre Gasly if Alpine decides Doohan doesn't meet that performance criteria. Is what happens next inevitable? Is this all incredibly harsh and Doohan, they're saying, or does he have some control? Here are our thoughts from John Noble. Imagine getting promoted to your dream job and before you properly got your feet under the desk, the bosses appoint someone else to act as a fallback. I mean, wow, that's not going to fill you with confidence, understandably. Well, welcome to Jack Doohan's world. Ahead of the first F1 season, the Australian well knows that Colapinto will be chomping at the bit to get his hands on the car. Some will suggest that this is perhaps a bit unfair on Doohan as it adds unnecessary pressure on him. And it is. I think it's absolutely unfair. So, there we go. Doohan is going to absolutely have to prove himself from the Australian Grand Prix onwards. This will only end one way, says Ben Anderson. He said, I can only see this ending with Colapinto replacing Doohan at some point during 2025. Alpine is going through a serious downsizing, shedding its staff and costs. And I suspect the commercial appeal of Colapinto in South America, money talks, the depth of which surprised even Williams when it promoted him in place of Logan Sargent, will be too strong to resist for a team in Alpine's position. Colapinto is likely to be every bit as good, if not better in the car than Doohan, but seemingly brings with him some sort of commercial profile in his native land that helps Sergio Perez prolong his F1 career. Alpine is, of course, not in the sort of dive financially that Force India so regularly was back when Paris became its linchpin before Lance Stroll took over, but there is a more obvious focus on shrinking costs at Alpine. Promoting Doohan from its own academy after cutting ties with Ocon seemed to fit with that let's be leaner strategy, as does creating a wide pool of reserve drivers. It's just interesting. This leaves a sour taste, as says someone. Doohan looked decent in his debut, but if Alpine believes Colapinto would be a performance upgrade, loyalty to Doohan is no reason to deny itself the upgrade. But the way this is playing out really leaves a sour taste. Kind of agree. Doohan's not even started his first season and he's already under intense pressure as part of a team that has seemingly made a point of not publicly committing to him. I mean, yeah, what does that say? Even Red Bull would bristle at treating a rookie that way. But and while it's technically true, it's very much in Doohan's hands. If he underperforms, he obviously risks getting the axe, it says, by default. Absolutely. You can still set up for failure and your already difficult job will be made harder than it needs to be. It makes sense for Williams to Scott Mitchell. Williams consciously put itself in an unusual position last year, drafting in a young driver for less than a half a season, despite the seat already being filled. It had good belief in Colapinto. Realistically, Williams wasn't expecting him to do so well that it made signing Carlos Sainz a mistake, and on balance, Colapinto didn't. He just generally gave a good account of himself with a very impressive peak and showed he would be an interesting option. Williams has no need for him. Obviously, Alpine do, but it signed Colapinto, he's talking about Alpine, to command a nice payday if someone wanted to get hold of him. Given Williams is unlikely to regret having either of those two drivers, as in Albon and Sainz, over Colapinto, cashing in on an external interest in him rejigging the queue of juniors to give more opportunities to others. I mean, yeah, but this is the thing. We cannot forget, look, this is Colapinto in Brazil. Twice he crashed in Brazil as well. Here it is, coming from, on the inside, and on the power 2 match, whoops, daisy, and he goes off. Yeah, I mean, but this, sadly, this was a key thing. This is Colapinto in I think this is either Las Vegas or Turn 4, or no, this is I can't think where this is now. But he crashes out of FP1. That's either Las Vegas or even Singapore. I mean that's pretty much a rookie error, and that was the general consensus for Colapinto come the end of the year was Colapinto crashing. So is Alpine taking a risk? Yes, I think they are. Is Colapinto amazing? His peaks are very higher than Logan Sargent. He crashes less. than Logan Sargent? Maybe not so much. And that might be the issue. But he is very new. He is a rookie. He can improve. But can, in capital letters, with a couple of question marks after. And that's the risk Alpine have, replacing him with Doohan. Jack Doohan needs to absolutely go gangbusters come Australia. Absolutely he does. So if you made it to the end, thank you very much. Just by clicking on this video, makes me very happy, makes me smile. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. If you want to do more though, if you know, give us a like. Make sure you're subscribed. That would be absolutely fantastic. Comment below. Let us know what you think of Franco Colapinto. Has Doohan been screwed? Not yet. Will he? Maybe. I guess only time will tell. Fingers crossed for both of them. But I hope Doohan absolutely does gangbusters come Australia, his home race. Wins it? That'll be great. I doubt it. But points? Yeah. That'll be good. Speak to you soon and stay safe. Thank you very much.